Okay, thank you, Sheriff, for taking your time and coming here. As I told you, right now we are having a lot of issues in the market, and I'm looking for some solutions. You've been working with us for a couple of years, and you know us very well. In the oil and gas sector, we have problem with finding new customers, and the oil prices are not really good. So when the oil prices are not really good, they're not looking for our services, and we have to look for some more opportunities in the market. So we have the issue with adding to our revenue stream, and it's not really easy. So we've got a lot of problem with business development and finding some more opportunities ahead of us in the market. So I was discussing it with some of my friends, and they were suggesting things that were a little weird to me, asking us to go into new things, doing new services that we've not been doing before. Like, for example, doing services with the renewable energies, or even, things a little bit more weird, like doing, like retail in the supply services and going to the B2C market, working with people rather than working with the companies, and out of the oil and gas sector. So I was really confused. Part of me is thinking that it's a good idea to go into a new market that we have never been into that, and it's really exciting, and but the other part of me tells me that it's not a good thing to do, because going into the new market or doing new things that we have not done before is a little bit dangerous or risky, because we might not have the right resources for that, not the experience that are required. So like always, I call you and ask you for your advice. And I don't know what to do. Do you think it's a good idea if I diversify and go to new things and doing new services?
Well, it could be and it could not. It depends. This concept that you're currently thinking about is called diversification, is in management strategies. Okay. It is a right question. Many managers think about these kinds of questions and decision-making situations. For some of them it is good, for some of them not. It depends. Different managers would think about the diversification for different reasons. Some of them, like you, are not happy with their current industry that they are active in, and they think that likely it is not that the industry is not attractive. There are many competitors with few customers, so bargaining power of the customers are too high. The rivalry extent of the industry is too high, and they were unsuccessful to gain market share in the market. So they think that likely they have some other industries in mind that they are more attractive. And if they can get into those industries and be active in those, they could be more successful. Some other managers, in the other hand, would think differently. They say that, okay, I am very much successful in current industry. My current industry is active, and I want to be active again, be active from now on in the industry.
In other places.
But some managers would think differently. In the other hand, they say that I am so happy with the current industry. It is attractive. I was successful. I was able to gain the most market share in comparison to the competitors. So, but I have gained some resources. I want to use these resources and my current capabilities to get into new business line. I want to grow. I want to do something else in addition to what I'm currently doing. So different reasons for diversification. Different managers think about these kinds of the questions for different reasons. But it is sometimes good, sometimes bad. It depends completely on the situation of the company. For some of them are suitable, for some of them is not suitable. So some managers need to have precise criteria based on which they can decide, is it the right choice for them to get into a new industry? For instance, they have something in my mind. Is it suitable for them or it's not suitable for them? Diversification strategy tries to clarify these kinds of criteria that the managers can consider based on which they can decide. In order to get to those criteria and specifically discuss about them, likely it is not a bad idea to review where diversification is located in comparison to other strategies that a company can have. We have a chain of strategies in a company. We have corporate strategies, which are the high-level strategies in a company. All of the other strategies in the company are under the umbrella of corporate strategies. We have business strategies, which for any specific business unit, we should develop its own specific strategies, which is called business strategies. And also we have functional strategies, which are the strategies for each department in the organization. All of these functional strategies and business strategies are under the umbrella of corporate strategies. Diversification is one of the corporate strategies. In order to better see where diversification is exactly located in different strategies of a corporate, we can review what Ansov, who is a very famous, I believe you know him, who is a very famous scholar in developing corporate strategies. We can review what Ansov has located diversification in different strategies of a corporate. So what Ansov has developed is a matrix which has two dimensions consisting of products and markets. We can have, as you see in the slide, we can have existing markets, we can have new markets, we can have existing products and new products. So based on this matrix, we can have 4 categories of strategies. As you see, we can provide our current or existing products to the existing markets. We call the strategies in this category market penetration. Of course, it is the easiest strategies to pursue, because this is a situation where you provide your current products that you're completely familiar with to the current market that you're completely familiar with. So you know everything. Here you want to get the most out of your market. You want to reach the biggest market share. You want to conquer your current competitors in the specific industry and market you're active in. The second category of strategies are those where you provide your current products to the new markets. Mostly it is talking about going beyond the geographical borders. So you try to go, for example, to international markets or new regions. It is not that much challenging, but it is much more challenging in comparison to market penetration strategies. You know your products, but you don't know the market. You're not familiar with the market. You need to analyze and have some estimations before getting into. You're challenging with some cross-cultural challenges in these category of strategies. We call this category market development, as you see in the slide. The third category is product development. It is where you develop new products, but for the current market. We call this category of strategies product development. It is the strategy which is pursued by many companies in order to provide some complementary products in addition to their core product. For instance, auto industry. In auto industry, auto companies try to set the margin for their core product as few as possible, and they will get their profit from the complementary products, their optional products that they're providing to the market. The fourth category of strategies, as you see, is diversification, where you provide new products to the new markets. It is the toughest and hardest, Hamid, to pursue for a company, because companies normally don't know about their new products, are not familiar what is going on, and don't know about the market again. They don't know, is the market demanding for their new products or no. They exactly don't know how is the attractiveness of the market. They exactly don't know what is the entry cost of the market. So they don't know that how the players are playing in the market, what are the governing rules in the market. So as you see, it is the hardest one to pursue. Basically, as a consultant, I would say to a company that likely it is better to focus first on market penetration, then market development, then product development, and after that diversification. But sometimes managers, like the situation that you're currently in, really are bored and are tired from the market they're active in. They know that likely this market is in decline stage, and they cannot imagine a very clear and good prospect and future for their current industry. That is why they try to extend their themselves and go to another industry, to completely new business lines.
That's right. Cheyenne, we've been working on market penetration. Like you said, it's, to me, it means like doing more advertisement with the same customers, having more meetings with them, having more workshops and introducing more services to these clients, having more tenders and participating in different tenders. So this is something that we're doing currently, and it's not really working. The problem is that the environment and the market is not really suitable for our business. And also we've worked on market development. You're saying like going beyond geographical borders. We've been like to some of the neighboring countries. We're trying to find some opportunities there too. But like you said, well, these are the things that that might work in future, but it's not really bringing a lot of revenue generation for the time being. And also about the product development. But there has been we've done a lot in creating new services for the oil and gas sector. There is no other service that we can think of. And there's the reason that I'm a little bit frustrated with this market. I don't mean that when we're not successful in the market, we are successful, but that is the situation with many of our rivals too. They're having the same issue because the market is not really in good condition. And the question is that if the market is not really in good condition, you cannot bring more products, even by extending your borders or your market to international environment. You may not have a better situation. So yeah, maybe that's the reason that they were looking for diversification. But many of the times, I'm having this concern that, because you know it very well, that I also have this obsession to go from this B2B business and going into the B2C business. Because it's usually much easier to get the money from the people than from getting the money from the companies. But I'm not sure if that is the obsession, which is just making me follow the diversification, or it is the necessity of the business that I have to go for it.
Managers normally do need to have these criteria based on which to decide is it the right choice for them to go to a new industry or no. You need to have precise criteria based on which to decide either this choice is suitable for me or no. Managers normally do need these criteria to decide if a situation, if a choice is correct for them or no. So one input for the companies, for them to decide if diversification into a new specific industry is a right choice or no, is a right thing or no, is vision. Board of the companies normally defines the vision. In vision, companies specify where they want to go and what is the exact way they want to get into. Some companies define their vision as a wide vision, that it is not restricting themselves to be active just in specific industries. But some are restricting themselves to be active just in specific industries. This is what McDonald's has done. As you see, its vision is to be the world's best quick service restaurant chain. And in the other hand, Shell tried to specify its vision to be a little bit wider. As you see, to engage efficiently, responsibly, and profitably in oil products, gas, chemicals, and other selected businesses. So although the Shell is defining some specific industries to be active in, but again, it lets its hands to be open to get into new business lines if it is required in a specific time. In order to see whether diversification is a correct choice for a company or no, it is not a bad idea to review the history. Okay, what successful companies in Europe and US did regarding diversification. But before that, we should be aware that diversification is not always good. Mostly, it is a conundrum. So companies normally have the challenge: is it better to be specialized or diversified? They need to understand, they need to find out, is it better to be specialized or diversified? Under what conditions they can create rather than destroy values by diversification? And what types of diversification are most likely to create values for them? Can we define a specific point, optimum point, that up to that degree diversification is okay for the company, and beyond that it will destroy the value for the company? So these are the challenges that companies normally coping with regarding diversification. So let's review the trend for diversification and what did the companies do in the history regarding diversification.
Okay, great. Thank you.